Hello guys, my name is Ali and welcome back to Tips for IELTS Listening. So today's video, I will show you some tips and some reminders when you do the type of question about note, table, and form completion in IELTS Listening. Alright, so let's go with the first type of question is note completion. So in this note completion question, you will need to complete a page of note about an academic topic. So you need to read the instruction and also the questions carefully before you start to listen and do the test. Alright, so now let's take a look at the example note completion part over here I have for you. So technically, in general, you'll see that there will be four questions you need to answer, right? So as a guide for this kind of task, first you need to look in overview. You need to overview all of the general four questions over here. What type of words you need to fill in, what kind of information that you need to listen for so that you can predict and have higher possibility in getting the correct answer. The second one, you need, like I said, always read the instruction first. You need to know the maximum number of words and maximum of numbers that the instruction requires you to do. Otherwise, you would write out the wrong answer and you will completely lose the part for this one. All right. The next one, the words and number you hear in the recording. So you do not paraphrase. Do not paraphrase or rephrase or change the form of the word that you listen. So it's not like writing, okay? So this kind of thing, you need to listen carefully and then give exact answer when you listen on the audio. All right, so after knowing about the guides, the tips to do this, I would follow three steps to do the IELTS listening for the note completion. So the step one is think. Always think first, right? So look at the notes over here. You need to know what sort of information is required in each gap, right? Decide if each gap 1 to 4 will require. First, it could be a word or words, a number or numbers, or a word and a number based on the instruction of the question. All right. So for step 2, listen and do the task. So after think carefully and predict the kind of information, now it's time for you to do the task and look for the answer in the recording. Okay. Step 3 is to check what you heard. You always have a little bit of time before transferring to other section to listen, to check or to transfer your answer to the answer sheet. All right. And 3 things are important you need to remember. You must be ready for the information when you listen. You must write the correct information and then you must be careful not to write the wrong information. Alright, so now let's take a look at the example I have over here for you guys for the notes completion. Technically, we have 4 questions, right? So as the first step, like I told you, read the instructions carefully. So now the instruction tells us to write no more than 2 words or and a number for each answer. Okay, so no, don't write 3 words or 3 numbers in this. Okay, so next one, predict the kind of information you need to listen. So first, for the question number 1, it tells about cheapest properties and then it has a sign, the currency sign. So which means that it could possibly be the number, a price, right? The number about a price for this one. And the second you see, it talks about the minimum period of contract. What could it be? It could be a duration. It could be about time, dates, all right? And the third one, office open Saturdays until. So definitely open and until. It could be time and date. So pay attention to this, but however, don't try so hard to forcefully give your opinion about only this one because it might be wrong. So your guess might be wrong. So just have an open mind when you listen. And the last is list of properties available on. So my guess, I would predict it would be about a date, time and date, or could even be year. Alright, so for the second type of question is the form completion. So it has similar steps and tips to the note completion. You will complete a form about an everyday topic like opening a bank account, joining a club, or registering for a class. you would have to listen for numbers. So listen for information like numbers, address, phone numbers, postal codes, and letters like spelling names and places. Alright, so now let's take a look at an example for the form completion I have over here for you guys. So as the instruction, please read it carefully. It said write one word and or a number. So technically only one word this time, okay? So for the first question, the information you need to know is about type of current accounts. Type of current accounts, right, is a bank account. So the ... and then account, it is one word. So maybe it could be one word only, an adjective, a noun, or it could be like a hyphenated word. Like I said before, hyphenated, it means like a hyphenate between two words. So remember to write that carefully. All right, and the second question is date of birth. Technically, date of birth, it could be date, month, and then the year. So listen for the date carefully. And the third one, current address. What can you guess about number? It could also involve in a letter as well when you talk about home address or postal code. Okay, and the fourth one, time of current address is also like the duration. It talks about the length of your stay in a time or in a house. So you can guess what kind of information that you need to know when you listen. Alright, so that is some examples I have for the note and the form completion. So actually for the table completion, it also has a similar steps, similar questions and also tips to do on this. So you need to practice carefully how to do all of this one. Basically, it would be in the section 1, the part 1 of the listening IELTS. So keep practicing so that you can avoid the very common mistakes and traps like I told you earlier in the last video. Okay? Alright guys, so that's a wrap for today's video. So we know all the tips and the reminders when you do the question type for the listening IELTS, which is notes, table, and form completion. I hope you find this helpful and I hope that you could keep practicing in the future for higher score in the IELTS test. Alright, I will see you next time. Goodbye.